My wife took her daughters shopping, but left mine sitting alone at the mall food court. When I confronted her, she snapped. I thought she had her own plans. So I took my daughter somewhere she couldn't reach us. Now her calls won't stop coming. Sandra took another drink, then set the glass down hard. So what happens now? You two had your little pity party, bought some overpriced clothes and toys, and now what? You come home and everything goes back to normal? I shook my head. No. Things are going to change. What does that mean? It means when we get home, you and I are going to have a serious conversation about the future of our marriage. Because I can't stay with someone who treats my daughter like she's less important than everyone else in the family. Sandra's eyes widened. Are you threatening to leave me? Over a shopping trip? No. Over years of subtle exclusion and favoritism that I was too blind to see until now. Over the fact that my 7-year-old daughter has learned to expect being treated as an afterthought in her own home. Over your complete lack of remorse even now. This is absurd. You're overreacting. Am I? Then tell me this, why did you drive 3 hours to confront me instead of just waiting until we got home tomorrow? She hesitated. Because I was worried. No. You came because you lost control of the situation. Because for once, I put Lily first, and you couldn't stand it. Sandra's expression hardened. Fine. Think whatever you want. But when you come home, don't expect things to just blow over. You've embarrassed me in front of the girls. You've undermined my authority as their mother. Their mother, yes. Not Lily's. And that's exactly the problem. I stood up. We'll be home tomorrow afternoon as planned. Until then, I suggest you drive back home and think about whether you're willing to make real changes in how you treat my daughter. Because if you're not, we have some difficult decisions ahead of us. I left her sitting there, staring into her wine. As I walked away, I felt a weight lifting from my shoulders. For too long, I had compromised my daughter's well-being to keep the peace. No more. When I got back to the suite, Lily was in her pajamas, watching a movie with the babysitter. Her face lit up when she saw me. Daddy. We're watching Moana. That's great, sweetheart. I thanked and paid the babysitter, then sat down beside Lily on the couch. Did you talk to Sandra? She asked once we were alone. I did. Is she mad? She's upset, yes. But that's not your problem to worry about. Lily nodded, then fell silent for a moment. Daddy. Are you and Sandra going to get divorced because of me? I took her hand. First of all, nothing that happens between Sandra and me is because of you. If we end up separating, it will be because of her actions and my failure to address them sooner. But, no buts. Second, I don't know what's going to happen. That depends on whether Sandra is willing to acknowledge the problem and make real changes. And if she doesn't? Then yes, we may end up separating. But you shouldn't worry about that right now. Whatever happens, we'll get through it together. She leaned her head on my shoulder. I'm sorry for not telling you how I felt sooner. Don't apologize. I'm the one who should have noticed. But from now on, I want you to promise me something. What? Promise me you'll tell me if you're feeling sad or left out or treated unfairly. By anyone, not just Sandra. You deserve to feel happy and included, Lily. Always. She nodded. I promise. We finished watching Moana together, and then I tucked Lily into bed with her new unicorn plushie. The next morning, we enjoyed a final breakfast at the resort before checking out. The drive home was more subdued than the drive down had been, but not in a bad way. We were both deep in thought, preparing ourselves for whatever awaited us at home. When we pulled into the driveway, Sandra's car was there. So were Zoe's and Madison's bikes in the front yard. Do you want me to come in with you? Lily asked as I turned off the engine. No, sweetheart. Take your things to your room. I'll handle this. As Lily headed upstairs with her bags and her new treasures, I found Sandra in the kitchen. She looked tired, like she hadn't slept much. We need to talk, she said. Yes, we do. She gestured toward the living room, where Zoe and Madison were watching TV. Girls, Sandra said, would you give us some privacy, please? Go play in your room for a bit. They nodded and quickly left the room. I heard them heading upstairs. I've been thinking about what you said, Sandra began once they were gone. About how I treat Lily differently. I waited, not wanting to interrupt whatever she was about to say. I don't think I realized I was doing it, she continued. Not consciously, anyway. But after you left, I started thinking about specific incidents, and you're right. I've been excluding her. Treating her differently. I hadn't expected this admission. Why? Sandra sighed. I don't know. Maybe it was easier to focus on the girls I already knew how to parent. I was afraid of overstepping with Lily, of trying to replace her mom. So I took a step back. And then another. Until somehow, without even realizing it, I wasn't really being a parent to her at all. That's not fair to Lily. She was just 4 when we got married. She needed a mother figure. I know that now. And I'm not saying it was right or rational. But it's the truth. So what happens now? Now, I try to do better. If you're willing to give me another chance. It's not just up to me. Lily has to be okay with it too. Sandra nodded. I want to talk to her. Apologize properly. Try to rebuild our relationship, if she'll let me. That's a start, I acknowledged. But it's going to take more than one conversation. It's going to take consistent effort over time. I understand. And I'm willing to put in that effort. For all of us. I wasn't entirely convinced, but I was willing to give her the opportunity to prove herself. All right. But I need you to understand something, Sandra. Lily's well-being is my priority. If I don't see real change, if she continues to feel excluded or less than in this family, then we have a serious problem. I understand. We talked for a while longer, setting some ground rules and expectations for moving forward. Then Sandra went upstairs to talk to Lily privately. I didn't know what was said between them, but when Lily came down for dinner that evening, she seemed cautiously hopeful. Later that night, as I was helping Lily get ready for bed, she showed me where she'd arranged her new unicorn plushie and Legos on her shelf. "Daddy?" she asked as I was tucking her in. "Yes, sweetheart? Thank you for our special trip. It was the best weekend ever." "You're welcome. I had a great time too." She hesitated. Sandra said she was sorry. She said she wants us to do more things together, just her and me sometimes. "How do you feel about that?" Lily considered this. "I think it might be nice." She said maybe we could take a cooking class together at the community center. "That sounds like a good start." "Do you think she really means it? That things will be different now?" "I hope so. But no matter what happens with Sandra, I want you to remember something." "What's that?" "You're never alone. Whether we're at Paradise Cove or in the food court or anywhere else in the world, you're never alone as long as I'm around." She smiled. "I know, Daddy. I've always known that." 2 weeks later, Lily had her first cooking class with Sandra. They made cookies together and brought them home to share. It was a small step, but an important one. Is our family perfect now? Not by a long shot. We still have issues to work through, and I'm still watching carefully to make sure old patterns don't re-emerge. But that weekend at Paradise Cove marked a turning point. For us. Sometimes, it takes a dramatic gesture to open people's eyes to what's been right in front of them all along. And sometimes, the most important thing a parent can do is simply show up for their child when everyone else has left them behind. Since many people have asked for an update, I wanted to share how things have been going since the incident at the mall. The short version is, cautiously optimistic. Sandra has been making a genuine effort to include Lily more equally in family activities. She's taken Lily out for girls' days, just the two of them, and the 3 girls have been getting along better too. For Lily's 8th birthday last month, Sandra went all out with decorations, gifts, and a rainbow unicorn-themed party, the same level of celebration she's always given her biological daughters. It meant a lot to Lily, though she was a bit overwhelmed by the attention. Sandra and I have been going to couples counseling, which has been helpful for addressing the deeper issues in our marriage. We still have work to do, but we're committed to making things better. As for the girls, they've been getting along better too. Madison has been seeking out Lily more often to play, and even Zoe has been making an effort to include her little stepsister in activities. The biggest change, though, is in Lily herself. She's more confident, more willing to speak up when she feels she's being treated unfairly. She doesn't shrink into the background anymore, waiting to be noticed. She takes up the space she deserves, even at 7 years old. And me? I'm learning to be a better advocate for my daughter. I'm learning that sometimes, making waves is exactly what a family needs to start healing. Time will tell if these changes stick, but for now, I'm hopeful. And regardless of what happens with Sandra and me, I know Lily will be okay. She's stronger than I ever realized. Thank you to everyone who offered support and advice. It really helped during a difficult time.